Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji, Harilila Prabhuji. Actually, I just call you now because I was not seeing your photo. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your coming. So our humble obeisances, Prabhuji, at your lotus feet. I'm audible, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So I just give you a brief introduction for 2 minutes, as you already sent to me, and I'm sent in the group also. So Harilila Prabhuji is a mechanical engineer by qualification, worked in Middle East for 15 years, and took first initiation in 2003, second initiation in 2011, and shifted to Mayapur 2012 with family to educate son in Mayapur Gurukula. Joined ISKCON Mayapur services in 2013 and served in different positions. Currently working on launching 100-bed Sri Mayapur Community Hospital expansion project. And now teaching Sastri courses like Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, both as part of Mayapur Institute and outside. And Prabhuji is very senior disciple of Jayapata, His Holiness Jayapata Sai Maharaj. He regularly gives class, English class and Hindi class. Today Prabhuji's class in Hindi in Mayapur. So I generally listen Prabhuji's lecture repeatedly, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, every lecture. So welcome Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the small audience, and many people will be coming soon. I hope so. So today's topic is overview of Adi Lila. Adi Lila has 17 chapters. So it is just an outline, and Prabhuji will discuss that. And it will end at 8:15, and 15 minutes after that, up to 8:15 to 8:30, that will be the question answer session. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. And screen sharing option is given to you, Prabhuji. If you need any screen sharing, so Disha Mataji also can help. So both is okay, Prabhuji. So you can speak in English, and sometime you can speak Hindi also, because it is a demand of our participant, Prabhuji. So both the language, I know you are expert. Yes, Prabhuji, please proceed.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Sukamkatamrita Dravasamyatam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Ugraghorasika Bhuvavakaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Om Jnanatimanandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Caitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sabadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Nirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prajana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shapanute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschaitirya Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangalangayate Granatpatam Hamande Shri Gurun Dharnam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram Kathanchana Smrite Yasmin Duskaram Sukaram Bhavet Smrite Pritam Syat Shri Chaitanyam Namamitam. Hare Krishna. So, giving overview of Adi Lila is a very daunting task because Srila Prabhupada has put the entire philosophy of Gaudiya Vedanta in Adi Lila. So even though it may look like just 17 chapters or 18 chapters, and it may look as if just we are dealing with a few shlokas. Adi Lila is a subject matter of very elaborate description. It is extremely difficult to give an overview of Adi Lila. And it is even more difficult to do justice to the topic in a matter of 1 hour. But still, since that is the topic which is there on the table, what we will do is that we are going to see a very, very high level view of Adi Lila. Very high level view of Adi Lila. We are not going to get into the details of Adi Lila itself. So this is going to be like nowadays before a movie is released, they put trailer, they put teaser, they put poster, like that, many things they put. So this is going to be more like a teaser. It is not going to be a trailer. It is going to just show you some little bit glimpse of Adi Lila. It's not going to be a traditional overview. A traditional overview should generally encompass all the subject matters in little detail. That is not going to happen today. It's just going to be a very, very high level overview. So, as Prabhuji said, that there are 17 chapters. Out of the 17 chapters, actual Caitanya Lila is starting from 13th chapter. First 12 chapters are explanations of Gaudiya Vedanta. Gaudiya Vedanta means they are explanations of the basic foundational philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnavism and how it is constructed, and who are the personalities of Panchatattva, what is their relevance in terms of Tattva, in terms of what is their identity in terms of personality, and what is their role in terms of Lila, Chaitanya Lila. So this is what is described in 12 chapters. Then the balance chapters from 13 to 17, systematically the Lord's Lila is described from his appearance in the womb of Mother Sachi, his different levels of age, his Balya Lila, his Kaumara Lila, his Kaishwara Lila, his Pauganda Lila, and his Kaishwara Lila. So then it more or less stops at his Kaishwara Lila. Chaitanya Caritamrita does not also get into a lot of details of these pastimes because of the respect Krishnadasa Das Goswami he had for Vrindavan Das Thakur. Because Vrindavan Das Thakur, he had already written Chaitanya Bhagavat. And in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur had very elaborately mentioned the early pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, including his Leela of taking sannyas, etc. So therefore, we don't get to hear so much of these detailed pastimes of Lord's childhood pastimes and Lord's pastimes in youth in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So what Krishnadasa Das Goswami did was to pick up the pastimes which Vrindavan Das Thakur did not elaborate or did not mention. This is simply out of the respect for Vrindavan Das Thakur. So this itself is something which is very important for us to learn. That even though Krishnadasa Goswami, he was one of the official biographers, if you want to call it, of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and nobody would have objected Vrindavan Das Krishnadasa Goswami writing the Leela. But still he refrained from writing the Leela which Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote out of respect for him. So this is something which is a very important point which we should note. That even when there is opportunity, we should still follow etiquette. And that's a very important thing. That sometimes we may be presented in a situation where there is some opportunity to overlook a certain etiquette as devotees. But even when such opportunity comes, even in that opportunity, we should follow etiquette. By doing that, Krishna is pleased. Just before starting this class, we are discussing about Daksha's pastime with Lord Shiva, and how Daksha, out of envy, criticized Lord Shiva. And he was saying so many things to Lord Shiva. And Daksha's excuse for criticizing Lord Shiva is that he had position. And due to his position, Lord Shiva has to respect him. That is Daksha's excuse. Even though Daksha was not as advanced as Lord Shiva, but he had a better position. And he said that because I have position, Lord Shiva should have shown me respect. That's his argument. Of course, Lord Shiva explained that why he did not physically get up to show respect later to Sati, his wife. So the point is that why I want this discussion is that sometimes we may have position, and in that position, with that position, it may be possible for us not to show respect to others, but still we should still show respect. That's the etiquette we should follow. Just to give an example. So the chapter 1 of Caitanya Caritamrita is aptly titled as Spiritual Masters, because we know from Shastra that without the mercy of the spiritual master, we cannot get Krishna. So without glorifying the spiritual masters, and without giving proper respect to them, and without explaining the connection of the spiritual masters with Krishna and the Krishna Vijnana, one cannot understand anything. So therefore, naturally, while starting Chaitanya Caritamrita, Krishna Kaviraj Goswami, he actually, the first topic he talks about is the spiritual masters. And he starts this chapter with the shloka which glorifies all the spiritual masters. And he lists all of them. And then he more or less ends the chapter concluding Krishna as the supreme spiritual master. Because indeed Krishna is the spiritual master for everybody. And from him comes knowledge to the 4 paramparas. And the 4 paramparas then have their own acharyas. And those acharyas have their disciplic successions. And through disciplic succession, knowledge of Krishna consciousness is spread throughout the world. So therefore, it is not surprising that we find Krishna's instructions to Lord Brahma, because we are in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, so which is starting from Brahma. So it's not very surprising that we find Krishna's instructions to Lord Brahma in form of Chatushloki in the first chapter. So we find a different explanation of Chatushloki, slightly different explanation of Chatushloki in the first chapter of Chaitanya Caritamrita, which is different from the explanation of Chatushloki which is given in Bhagavatam. The Chatushloki explanation given in Bhagavatam, it dwells predominantly on refuting Mayavad philosophy, because the later miscreants of miscreant Mayavadis, they commented on this Chatushloki and then they gave Mayavad explanation for this Chatushloki. So therefore, in Bhagavatam, Prabhupada more or less dedicates the explanation of Chatushloki to refuting those miscreant explanations of Mayavadis. But in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada gives a more wholesome analysis of the Chatushloki from different perspectives. So, the first chapter is dedicated to the spiritual masters, Vande Gurun. That's how it starts. It starts as Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan, Isham, Ishavatarakan, Tat Prakasham, Tat Shakti, Krishna Caitanya, Samjakam. So, the meaning is, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the spiritual masters, the devotees of the Lord's incarnations, his plenary portions, his energies, the primary Lord himself, Sri Krishna Caitanya. So, in Bhagavatam, Prabhupada explains that the supreme absolute truth is understood as the substance and the categories. The substance is the essence of everything because that's a substance. Vastu. हम बोलते हैं वस्तु जो सब में समा है और जिसके कारण सब कुछ का अस्तित्व है, उसको बोलते हैं वस्तु. वो एब्सोल्यूट ट्रुथ माने परम सत्य, सत्यम परम धीमहि. और परम सत्य वस्तु और कैटेगरीज. व्हाट इज हिंदी? Categories. I don't know Hindi word of that. Categories. So is understood वस्तु और उसका विभाग.
Section. Categories.
Can you check? Substance and categories. Anyway, विभाग. हिंदी में ये गड़बड़ होता है. वो एग्जैक्ट शब्द नहीं मिलता है मुझे. वो वस्तु और उसका विभाग ऐसा माना जाता है. ये दोनों मिलके परम सत्य हम समझते हैं. श्रेणी. तो वस्तु और उसके श्रेणी ये मिलके परम सत्य माना जाता है. और वर्ग श्रेणी. ओके. तो यहाँ वस्तु भी निर्देश किया गया है और उसका श्रेणी भी निर्देश किया गया है. तो ये परम वस्तु कौन है? ये परम वस्तु चैतन्य महाप्रभु है. वो भगवान श्री कृष्ण है. वो चैतन्य का नाम पे माना जाते हैं. और उनके श्रेणी वो कौन कौन है? हमारे अनेक गुरु है, जैसा दीक्षा गुरु, शिक्षा गुरु, वर्तमान प्रत्यक्ष गुरु, चैत्य गुरु, ऐसे अनेक गुरु हैं. और भक्तगण हैं और भगवान का अवतार है और भगवान का अंश है और भगवान का शक्तियां हैं और भगवान स्वयं है. तो ये सबका नमन करते हैं कृष्णदास गोस्वामी और चैतन्य चरितामृत को वो शुरू करते हैं. ये चैतन्य चरितामृत जो है, इन सब का बीच में जो कार्यकलाप चलता है उसका उल्लेख करता है. इट सिंपली एक्सप्लेन्स द इंटरेक्शंस बिटवीन ऑल ऑफ देम. दिस इज चैतन्य चरितामृत इन फुल. In that sense, just like the first shloka of Bhagavatam is expanded into entire Bhagavatam, the first shloka of Chaitanya Charitamrita is expanded into entire Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because Chaitanya Charitamrita is simply interactions between all of them, which is explained here. And how that interaction between all of them has one aim. What is that aim? That aim is to deliver the most fallen through Nama Sankirtan. जो पतित अदम है उसको नाम संकीर्तन द्वारा भगवत प्रेम का प्राप्ति कैसा होगा, इसके लिए ये सब एकत्र होकर काम कर रहे हैं। और कैसे एकत्र होकर काम किए और कलयुग में इसे कैसे महाप्रभु का जो अकारण जो करुणा जो है कलयुग में कैसा एक भाड़ के रूप में आके पूरा कलयुग को डुबा दिया, ये हम चैतन्य चरितामृत में देखेंगे। तो फिर भगवान गुरु को प्रणाम करने के बाद चैतन्य चरितामृत में कृष्णा कविदास गोस्वामी भगवान के बारे में बताते हैं और चतुर्युग के बारे में बताते हैं, क्योंकि ये सब एक गुरुवर्ग और भगवान के हर उसमें गुरुन, ईश भक्तान, अवतारान, all these things, so many things are given, different aspects are there, and all those aspects are expanded in the rest of the first chapter. Identification of the Lord, his expansion, his incarnation, his devotee, his energy, and they constitute the Panchatattva. The expansion is Nityananda Prabhu, and the incarnation is Advaita, and the devotee is Srivas, and the Shakti is Gadadhar. So this way they constitute the Panchatattva, Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam, Bhaktarupa Sarupakam, Bhaktavatara Bhaktatyam, Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. So then he also does whatever needs to be done in following a Shastra, which is defining the objective, offering benedictions, and offering obeisances. So that's how a book should start. Any book should actually define that what is the subject matter of this book, and ये ग्रंथ किसके बारे में है और इसको पढ़ने का किसका अधिकार है और किसका अधिकार नहीं है। किसी का अधिकार होता है, किसी का अधिकार नहीं होता है। जिसको अधिकार नहीं होता है वो पढ़ने से भी कोई फायदा नहीं होता है। जिसको अधिकार होता है वो पढ़ सकता है और कुछ आशीर्वाद देना और कुछ प्रार्थना करना, ये सब शुरू में करना चाहिए। तो ये सब किया गया है। फिर विस्तृत रूप में बताया गया है कि चैतन्य महाप्रभु क्यों भगवान है, और उसमें यहाँ अंत में कृष्णा कविदास गोस्वामी बताते हैं, if one patiently hear about the glories of Sri Caitanya, Nityananda and Advaita Prabhu, their devotees and devotional activities, names and fames, along with the mellows of the transcendental loving exchanges, one will learn all the essence of the absolute truth. Therefore, I have described this in Chaitanya Caritamrita with logic and discrimination. So this is what Chaitanya Caritamrita is all about. That's what I said also in the beginning, that Chaitanya Caritamrita is about the interactions of these different elements, which is explained in Adilila chapter 1. Then from second chapter onwards, he is discussing in the second chapter Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So 3 chapters discuss Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The second chapter discusses Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Tattva. The third chapter, the third and fourth chapter discusses the reasons for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. So this has been classified into 2, the external reason and internal reason. जो दिखता है कुछ कारण, उसको हम एक्सटर्नल रीजन बोलते हैं। जो नहीं दिखता है, जो गुप्त है कुछ कारण, उसको हम इंटरनल रीजन बोलते हैं। जब तक भगवान खुद नहीं बताएंगे तो जो अंदरूनी कारण है वो हम समझ नहीं सकते हैं। जो बाहर जो दिखता है वो कारण को हम समझ सकते हैं। जो बाहर दिखने का कारण क्या है? बाहर दिखने का कारण यह है कि कलयुग में लोग बहुत पतित थे और पापी अधम थे, और उनका जो उद्धार होना असंभव था। जब तक भगवान कुछ असाधारण लीला नहीं करेंगे, साधारण लीला से कलयुग का लोग का उद्धार नहीं हो सकता है। जब तक भगवान कुछ असाधारण लीला नहीं करेंगे तब तक उनका संभव नहीं था। तो भगवान तो कलयुग में उस असाधारण लीला रचाने का इच्छुक हो गए, क्योंकि पहले भी इसका कुछ कारण था। तो इसके लिए इस कलयुग के लोगों को बचाने के लिए, जस्ट टू सेव द पीपल ऑफ कली, सो द लॉर्ड अपीयर। So this is external reason, but there is also internal reason. What is that internal reason? The internal reason is that Krishna was greedy of something. What Krishna was greedy of? Krishna was greedy of understanding that how much Srimati Radharani loves Krishna and what kind of pleasure she is getting in loving Krishna. What kind of pleasure she is getting in loving Krishna, and how much she loves Krishna. So these things is only known to Radharani. These are not known to Krishna. So he is thinking that I don't know this. So how come I can find out these things? So in order to find out these things, the Lord decided that unless I myself take the position of a devotee, like Radharani, and get some water. And experience the taste of Mahabhava, which she is experiencing, there is no way I can actually find out what she is feeling. So therefore, in order to experience that feelings of Srimati Radharani, the Lord took the mood of Srimati Radharani. He is Krishna, but he has the heart of Radharani. So he took the mood of Radharani and then he appeared. Normally Krishna is black, that we all know. Krishna is black and Radharani is golden. She is Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhana Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya. She is golden. Radharani is golden, Krishna is black. But one wonderful thing happened. What is that? When Krishna took Radharani's mood, then the mood has a color. Every mood has a color. हर भाव का एक रंग होता है. Because he took Radharani's mood, therefore his bodily color and his bodily effulgence changed to golden color, which is Radharani's color. So therefore he is a Krishna. Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yajnahi Sankirtana Praye Vijantihi Sumedasaha. So he became a Krishna. He actually took the color of Srimati Radharani. He did not have his own color. That's the reason why Mahaprabhu is golden in color. The mood overtook. And because the mood overtook, the color was also covered. Krishna's color was covered. Radharani's mood overtook, and Radharani's color also overtook Krishna's color. So therefore, Mahaprabhu became golden color. So this way, after discussing the external and confidential reasons for the appearance of Mahaprabhu elaborately in 2 chapters. Then in the 5th chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he turns to discuss about Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu is very, very important because Nityananda Prabhu is Adi Guru. He is Balaram himself. He is the original Sankarshana. So, how Nityananda Prabhu is Adi Guru and how he is the original Sankarshana himself, that philosophical explanation constitutes this entire chapter. So, there is a complete philosophical explanation of position of Lord Nityananda. But in case of Nityananda, what is important to understand is that without Lord Nityananda's mercy, it is impossible to get Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Because without Guru's mercy, it is impossible to get Krishna's mercy. Same way, without Nityananda's mercy, it is impossible to get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Of course, later this point will be expanded into Danda Mahotsav, which is what we know as Panihatti festival. So Panihatti festival is actually a whole festival or lila, simply there to make this one point. What is that point? That point is that we cannot get Mahaprabhu's mercy without attaining Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. So Raghunath Das Goswami was trying to run to Mahaprabhu, but he did not get Nityananda Prabhu's permission. So therefore he was called as thief by Nityananda Prabhu. He said, "You are a thief. So you should not try to go to Mahaprabhu without getting permission from Nityananda Prabhu. Without Guru, we cannot approach Krishna. So without Nityananda Prabhu, we cannot approach Mahaprabhu. That's one thing. And the second important thing is Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. Nityananda Prabhu is even more merciful. Nitai's mercy is unlimited. So when Jagai and Madai, they attacked Nityananda Prabhu, later they begged forgiveness to them, that please forgive us. We have behaved very badly with you. Then Nityananda Prabhu said that sometimes the mother takes the child in the lap and then the child kicks the mother who is actually keeping the child in the lap. But the mother does not take any offense of that kicking of the child. So he said, "You are like my children. So whatever you have done, I don't take offense. I simply take it as the kicking of a child of the mother." So he is so merciful. So his tattva is explained, and he is being glorified in chapter 5. Specifically, it is explained that this is verse number 13. "I surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Rama, who is known as Sankarshana in the midst of Chaturvyuha, consisting of Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. He possesses full opulences and resides in Vaikuntha Loka, far beyond the material creation." So this is the identity of Lord Nityananda as revealed by Krishnadas Kaviraj Thakur. So why did he come? He came in all forms. He tastes the transcendental bliss of serving Krishna. That same Balarama is Lord Nityananda, the companion of Gaurasundara. So he simply came to serve Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya was coming for a very important mission. So therefore, he simply came to serve Lord Chaitanya. And he wanted to taste the bliss of serving Lord Chaitanya. Because normally, Balaram is simply serving Krishna. He is not directly serving Radharani so much. But now he is getting an option to serve Krishna and Radharani together. So therefore, he has taken that opportunity to come and serve both of them directly. So therefore, we understand that Lord Nityananda is the Sankarshan. He is the original Sankarshan. He is the Balaram, and he has come to assist in the pastimes of Lord Caitanya. So that is the essence of the the 5th chapter, which actually explains the glories of Lord Nityananda. This entire creation is explained as being caused by Lord Nityananda, because he is the source of the Vishnu forms. Then there is the glories of Lord Advaita Acharya in chapter number 6. So Advaita Acharya is a very important personality in Chaitanya Lila, because technically without Advaita Acharya there is no Chaitanya Lila. If there is no Advaita Acharya, there is no Chaitanya Lila. Because Advaita Acharya is the one who actually forced Mahaprabhu to appear by repeatedly calling him, by offering Ganges water and Tulsi leaf to Shalagram Sila. So Advaita Acharya appeared before Mahaprabhu, and then he saw what is the situation of the whole world. He saw the situation of the whole world, and he became very much worried about this population of this world in Kali Yuga, that they are so degraded that sometimes they were simply conducting marriages of dogs and cats. That I have a dog, you have a dog, let's celebrate marriage of 2 dogs, because they had so much money and they did not know what to do with that money. They were actually celebrating dog marriage, cat marriage, and things like that. Even now in Kali Yuga, sometimes it happens. Like somebody, he has so much money and he writes all his wealth to his dog. He says that after my death, my dog should get all my wealth. What dog will do it? People are so crazy. So when he saw this craziness of people in Kali Yuga, then he came and he repeatedly called for the Lord to appear. He beseeched the Lord to appear, and the Lord appeared. So therefore, Nityananda Advaita Acharya is very important. And he is non-different from Vishnu and Sadashiva. He is a combination of Vishnu and Sadashiva. Non-different from them. Then 7th chapter is a very important chapter, because 7th chapter actually explains the complete relationship between the Panchatattva, Lord Chaitanya, and 5 features. How Chaitanya himself has expanded into these 5 features, and there is nothing which is separate from the substance. If these 5 features are understood as categories, and Lord Chaitanya is the substance, in one sense, there is nothing different from the substance. All the categories are simply existing because of the substance itself. Without the existence of the substance, there is no separate existence of the categories. So therefore, the entire tattva or philosophical explanation of the Panchatattva is given in the 7th chapter. It's a very important chapter in Gaudiya Vaishnava Vedanta. And it needs to be studied very, very carefully. Up to chapter number 7, more or less completes the philosophical explanation of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Of course, these chapters are not very simple. And within these chapters, there's a lot of explanation of Vedanta philosophy in the Bhaktivedanta purports. They are all highly philosophical chapters. And within these chapters, within the Bhaktivedanta purports, there is elaborate explanation of Vedanta philosophy, direct Vedanta philosophy, and refutal of the Mayavada explanation of the Vedanta philosophy. Very elaborate refutal is there. So therefore, these chapters are requiring very, very scrutinizing study under the guidance of nice devotees, very senior devotees, not people like me. They require very scrutinizing study. So we encourage devotees to very scrutinizingly study these chapters so that they can actually understand the complete philosophical explanation of Gaudiya Vaishnava principles of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Gaudiya Vaishnavism का सिद्धांत बहुत गहरा सिद्धांत है. वो सिद्धांत समझना इतना आसान नहीं है, क्योंकि भगवत कृपा का संपूर्ण प्रदर्शन गौड़ीय वैष्णव सिद्धांत में किया गया है और भगवत कृपा की संपूर्ण गहराई का जांच भी यहाँ किया गया है. तो भगवत कृपा का मतलब क्या है, वो भगवत कृपा का संपूर्ण प्रदर्शन कैसा होता है, जीव और आत्मा और भगवान का संबंध का गहराई क्या है, और उस संबंध को रखने के लिए भगवान कैसे भिन्न भिन्न रूप में आत्मा की उन्नति और आत्मा की तृप्ति के लिए भगवान भिन्न भिन्न रूप में कैसे प्रकट होते हैं, ये सब विषय इसमें चर्चा किया गया है. तो ये सब बहुत गहरा विषय है. इसको बहुत ध्यानपूर्वक इसको अध्ययन करना चाहिए, बहुत ध्यानपूर्वक करना चाहिए और भक्तों की संग में इसको करना चाहिए. इसको समझने के लिए भक्तों की संग में करना चाहिए. फिर इसके बाद in the 8th chapter there's an explanation of what inspires Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami to write the Caitanya Caritamrita. How he received the order and authorization to write. Any task which we want to perform, ideally this should be authorized by the spiritual master or the representative of the spiritual master. भक्ति जीवन में अगर हम कोई भी कार्य करना चाहते हैं, उस कार्य को करने के लिए गुरु या गुरु के प्रतिनिधि होते हैं, उनका आशीर्वाद और अनुमति चाहिए. उनके आशीर्वाद और अनुमति के बिना हम कुछ कार्य करने के लिए, अपने मन की वाणी से कुछ कार्य करने के लिए हम निकल पड़ेंगे, वो कार्य सिद्ध नहीं होएगा. हम सोचेंगे कि हाँ ये तो अच्छा कार्य है, हम क्यों नहीं करेंगे, हम तो करेंगे, ऐसा हम सोचेंगे, हम सोच सकते हैं. लेकिन जब तक भगवान और गुरु की प्रतिनिधि का अनुमति नहीं होता है, तब तक वो कार्य सिद्ध होना बहुत दुर्लभ है. तो कोई भी भक्ति का कार्य ही हो, कोई भी कार्य का सिद्धि के लिए गुरु और गुरु की प्रतिनिधि भगवान, इनके आशीर्वाद का सख्त जरूरत है. तो यहाँ कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी बताते हैं कि उनको गुरु का आज्ञा और भगवान श्री कृष्ण का आज्ञा कैसे प्राप्त हुआ. उसके बाद 9वें अध्याय में भगवान और 10वें अध्याय, ये दोनों एक ही सब्जेक्ट मैटर है, जहां भगवान चैतन्य को एक कल्पतरु का रूप से वर्णन किया गया है. एक कल्पतरु, एक पेड़ का रूप में वर्णन किया गया है, और उस कल्पतरु का अनेक शाखा है. उस शाखा सब बहुत, उसका फिर उपशाखा है, फिर उसका उपशाखा है, ऐसा उस पेड़ बहुत विस्तार रूप से फैल गया है। उन शाखाएं का वर्णन है जो भगवान श्री चैतन्य के पार्षद है, वो सब उनके शाखाओं के रूप में वर्णित किया गया है। उनके शिष्य और उनके पार्षद शाखाओं को रूप में वर्णित किया गया है। और एक एक शिष्य और एक एक पार्षद, उनके अनेक शिष्य और उनके शिष्य, उनके शिष्य, उनके शिष्य ऐसे बने, ऐसा उपशाखा उपशाखा करके वो पेड़ फैलता गया। तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु का इस कल्पतरु में हम कौन सा शाखा में हैं? हम रूप गोस्वामी का शाखा में हैं। तो हमको रूपानुग बुलाया जाता है। जो इस्कॉन के भक्त हैं उनको रूपानुग कहला जाते हैं। They are called as Rupanugas because we are followers of Rupa Goswami. Within the followers of Rupa Goswami, we are particularly the followers of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So therefore, we are called as Saraswata Rupanugas. And within the followers of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, specifically, we are followers of His Divine Grace, Abhay Charananda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So amongst the Saraswati Rupanugas, we are called as Prabhupadanugas. So this is our branch. Main tree is Lord Chaitanya, branch is Rupa Goswami, sub branch is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and the sub branch is ISKCON, which is founded by our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. So this way we are connected to the main tree of Lord Chaitanya. Unless we maintain this connection, there is no meaning for our existence. This is what we discussed before. Unless the categories are connected to the substance, there is no meaning for the existence. So it applies in all cases. So the main tree is Lord Chaitanya, and he has requested that the fruits of love of Godhead, it should be distributed by many, many people. And he is calling everyone to assist in the distribution of the fruits of love of Godhead. And if we do that assistance, अगर हम भगवान श्री चैतन्य का जो इस पुकार है कि इस कलयुग में सबको भगवत प्रेम प्रदान करने का इस मंगलमय कार्य में सबका योगदान देना चाहिए, ऐसा महाप्रभु हम सबको बुला रहे हैं। अगर हम इसमें योगदान देंगे तो हमारा जीवन मंगलमय हो जाएगा। तो हमारे जीवन का शुभमय जीवन के लिए, हमारे जीवन में शुभदा के लिए भगवान चैतन्य हमको बुला रहे हैं और भगवान चैतन्य हमसे मदद मांग रहे हैं, बोल रहे हैं आप हमको मदद कीजिए, इस बहुत शुभ कार्य में आप योगदान दीजिए, आप मदद कीजिए। लेकिन इस अवसर को प्रदान करके भगवान श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु हमको मदद कर रहे हैं, हम भगवान श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु को मदद नहीं कर रहे हैं। इसको हमको समझना चाहिए। We should understand that even though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of his magnanimity, he is calling everyone, you please come and assist me to spread these fruits of love of Godhead. Even though he is asking for our assistance, but actually he is giving us the opportunity. He is assisting us. We are not assisting him. He is giving us the opportunity so that we can actually become perfect in our life. So therefore, we should not become very proud. Oh, Mahaprabhu is calling us. Without our assistance, Mahaprabhu cannot spread this Krishna consciousness movement. Rather, we should understand that we are very privileged. हमको ये privilege प्रदान किया गया है। हमको एक अवसर, एक स्वर्ण अवसर प्रदान किया गया है जिससे हम अपने जीवन को उद्धार कर सकें। So therefore we should be grateful. We should not think that oh, ISKCON needs me. We should clearly understand that we need ISKCON. ISKCON doesn't need us. Mahaprabhu doesn't need us. We need Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu, out of his humility, he is calling and telling that I need you, you please come. For our own good, he is explaining this. This is explained in chapter number 9 and 10. Then how Nityananda Vamsha, how it expanded, and how Advaitas and Gadadhara Pandits branches expanded. This is all explained in the rest of the two chapters, 11 and 12. Then from 13 onwards, the actual lila of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance is explained. That how, just like before Krishna's appearance, the Shadgarbhas were destroyed. Same way, before Mahaprabhu's appearance, Sachimata, she lost 6 babies. And then Vishwambar, the elder brother of Mahaprabhu, was born. But later Vishwambar also took sannyas. Then in the most auspicious time, then Sachimata, she conceived Mahaprabhu. So Sachigarbha Sindhu Hari Indu, it is said. That in the ocean of Sachimata's Garbha, the Lord appeared like the moon. The Lord appeared like the moon. And when the Lord was born, the moon was very shy. He did not want to appear. So therefore the moon hid his face, because Gaurachandra, he was looking so beautiful that he was like, he had the beauty of millions of moons. So this only one moon, this moon thought that, oh, this is not very good that I should show my face. I am so shameful of showing my face to Gaurachandra. So let me hide my face. Therefore there was lunar eclipse. And because there was lunar eclipse, then everybody went to the Ganges to take bath, and all of them were loudly chanting Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, like that. So ऐसे भगवान ने संकेत दिया कि भगवान क्यों इस धरती में अवतरित हो रहे हैं. इससे भगवान का संकेत था कि भगवान इस धरती में नाम संकीर्तन का प्रचार के लिए अवतरित हो रहे हैं. और भगवान के अवतरित होने का उसी समय में ही नाम संकीर्तन का उच्चारण सब जगह में हो गया और सब लोग करने लगे. खाली ब्राह्मण लोग नहीं, जो मुसलमान थे वे भी नाम लिए. वो ब्राह्मणों का वो मजाक उड़ा रहे थे. अरे तुम लोग क्या हरि 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 करके बैठा है, क्यों हरि 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 करके चिल्लाता है करके वो लोग भगवान का नाम लिए. मजाक मजाक में वो लोग भगवान का नाम ले लिए. तो ये संकेत था कि भगवान की कृपा से कि इस पूरा दुनिया में सब लोग अपने छोटे जो मत हैं उसको छोड़कर सब लोग कोई ये without discrimination of caste, creed and religion, everybody will chant the holy name. So this was the indication, and that indication has now become true, that everybody is chanting the holy name. Then there is various descriptions of Lord's very beautiful leelas of childhood and youth, how the Lord as a child, what all type of activities he did. He ate mud, and he was sitting on dirty place because he wanted to go to school. So his mother was so affectionate, she was not sending him to school, and sometimes he spoke Mayavad philosophy. And then when mother asked, hey, why are you speaking this type of philosophy? Then she told, you are not teaching me what is the right thing. So what can I do? You're not sending me to school. I can't learn what is the right thing. So then immediately she realized that he has to go to school, and she sent him to school because he is Supreme Lord. He very quickly learned everything, and then very quickly he became known as my Pandit. But also there is also the Leela of Mahaprabhu as a child giving his mercy to the Brahman who came to eat, and the Mahaprabhu was always eating from his plate. And finally, he actually showed himself as Sri Krishna and blessed the Brahman. Then there is also the Lord's pastime of Paugati Leela and Lord's pastime in the age of youth, how the Lord as a young boy he used to ask different girls to give him all the offerings and pray to him. And then he would say that if you give me all the offerings and pray to me, then I'll make sure that you get very nice, beautiful husband. And if you displease me, then I'll curse you that you'll get a very old man as husband. And then already he will be married and there will be 2-3 co-wives for you. And every time you have to keep fighting with the co-wives. So like that, the Lord is written. And then all these girls, they became so afraid of his curse. And then they offered all sorts of things to him and they prayed to him. So this way, there are many, many pastimes. There's also a pastime of Keshava Kashmiri at a later stage, how he became very proud by his benedictions by Saraswati Devi. He became so proud. And then how the Lord actually removed his pride. So like this, there are different pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explained in his childhood and youth. And there's also some explanation of Lord's pastime in his first marriage. So all these different things are explained in these chapters. So these are all very sweet chapters. Time is very limited. We already reached our time of completing the overview and giving some time for question answer. So, so let me stop here. Let me see if there is some comment or question. Only 2-3 people are there. If you have some question, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I ask my one doubt I have. Prabhuji, in Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya in 5 features, there is one sloka, we know that, text number 6. And the translation, let me offer my obeisances unto Lord Sri Krishna, who has manifested himself in 5 as a devotee, expansion of a devotee, incarnation of a devotee, pure devotee and devotional energy. So my query is that devotional energy is Gadhar Pandit and pure devotee is Narad Muni means Shivash Pandit. Is it okay, Prabhu?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
And devotees Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, expansion of devotees Nityananda Prabhu, incarnation of devotees Advaita Acharya. Correct, Prabhu?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So please ask Prabhuji. So other member can ask also. And Prabhuji, also I am thinking that because time is very short, because it's such a vast chapter and such a deep philosophy. So after discussing you in future, so one more session like overview or detailed in-depth study of Adi Lila we can organize, Prabhuji, in the month of January also. So please ask questions. Time is passing by.
I'm also teaching. Actually, even now some class was going on because I previously agreed. So I just did this session. So up to Gaur Purnima, it will be difficult to
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay.
sometime. But anyway, it is very difficult to do an overview of these chapters. I mean, what you can do is that you can probably ask devotees to do individual chapter overview. That will be a little bit more better because whole like Adi Lila overview is like too much. It's not like even if you if we give like 2-3 sessions also, it is not sufficient. So better to do chapter wise overview.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, I agree, Prabhu.
That will be much more doable.
Justifiable.
And even that is difficult for the first 7-8 chapters. Is that also difficult? But still, it will at least be something substantial. Otherwise, it will be very, very high level overview. It will not be. It will not be very. It will be good for newcomers. They can understand. Those who don't know Chaitanya Charitamrita, they can understand at least what is there. Like what we did, a very high level overview. Let's say some people who don't even know what is Chaitanya Charitamrita, they can understand what is there in the overview. But better to do chapter wise overview, then at least devotees who know what is Chaitanya Charitamrita, etc., they can get some information out of it.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, so we can stop here since there's not many questions. So I can take your permission and I can leave. Can stop here.
Okay, so we actually express our heartfelt gratitude, Prabhuji. Such a small participant, still you have given your time and lecture, Prabhuji. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. We seek your blessings, our humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.